The Essene calendar and the last days. The Greeks controlled Palestine and Israel from 323 to 164 BC, when Judas Maccabees and his brethren revolted against the Greeks and defeated them. The Greeks had imposed their culture on Judea, which caused many to leave the customs and traditions, but worse than that, they also imposed their calendar upon the people. The Maccabees turned things around, but they did not return to God's calendar, which had been used since the times of Adam and Eve and during the Mosaic dispensation. Then one of the Maccabean high priests, John Hyrcanus I, took the title of high priest and king. That was forbidden and caused a deep split in the people. Those who felt that they needed to follow the high priest no matter what he did or said were called the Sadducees. These were the ruling class, and they rejected certain doctrines as resurrection, judgment for life, existence of angels, the supernatural healings, the supernatural realm, and exorcisms and the like. The Jews who refused to follow John Hyrcanus I as high priest were known as the Pharisees, or the separated ones. They followed a strict legalistic interpretation of the law of Moses and the teaching of the rabbis, especially when it came to the observance of the Sabbath and Sabbatarian laws. The Sadducees and Pharisees actually fought a war between them that lasted for 8 years, from 96 BC to 88 BC before Christ. Everyone claimed to be the rightful rulers and kept trying to assassinate the leaders of the opposing party. Rome defeated the Jews in 135 BC and ruled from then on until they placed John Hyrcanus II into power. Civil order was still not restored, so the Romans put Herod, an Idumean or an Edomite from Edom, that is east of Israel, as king in 37 BC before Christ. Just before Judas Maccabeus became high priest, a group of priests known as the Zaddik, or the righteous priests, left Jerusalem and took copies of all the sacred books and writings with them to Qumran, where their community flourished. John the Baptist's father, Zechariah, was a Tzaddik, or Zadok, priest, and an Essene from the line of Zadok. John the Baptist was also an Essene and was listed as one of their prophets and head of the school of the prophets in Qumran. The Essenes were called the sons of light, while the Pharisees were called the sons of darkness. The Essenes kept the sacred calendar and the holy days according to Adam and up to Moses and King David, and etc. This is where the scroll sons of light, sons of darkness came from. They were able to come up with the exact year that the Messiah's life would be taken from the books of the prophets, and they believed that Jesus was the Messiah. They predicted his death from the Bible in AD 33, so that the world that Jesus was born into. This was the world that Jesus was born into. So the Jewish people today follow a hybrid calendar that was fixed in the 5th century, that is, during the 400s. It is not a solar calendar, but a lunar calendar. And so the days are all changed, and the years have become corrupted too. The Jewish calendar states that the year 2021 is the year 5781 AM, Anno Mundi, the year of the world, while the Essene calendar tells us that the year is 5946 Anno Mundi, 5946 Anno Mundi. That is a 165-year difference between them. The Essenes also, according to biblical interpretation, and that is the Essene calendar scroll that was found at Qumran, states that the very last Jubilee of the world, which was a every 50-year period, will begin in 2025 AD. Or, in their calendar, 5950 AM. With a day like 1,000 years, as we see in the Bible, both in Psalm 92 and in 2 Peter, we see that the 6 days of creation is prophetically being finished, according to the Essene calendar, in 6000 AM, or 2075 AD for us, according to this teaching. This fits exactly with what some people have been teaching for over 40 years, that we are in the last days and that Jesus is soon to return. This is, of course, still